Hey, good morning, everybody. Scary here. It's a Friday morning, Friday the 17th of April. I said I wasn't going to do another one of these until Saturday, but I got some really juicy content last night on my street, my condo community, in my street, in the summer months when it starts to get nice out. Like last night, it was maybe 72 degrees. It was perfect weather to be outside. There was a driveway drinking party going on at the tail end of my street. When I mentioned that one or two other episodes, but most of the people up there are women, and a lot of the women are retired. There's a few that are still working, but a lot of them are retired. And in the past year, there's been newer residents that have moved in that are in their two, for instance. One woman is in her early 40s, divorced with a daughter. And then there's another lady I haven't met yet, but I met her last night, and she's in her again probably early 40s, and she has two daughters. Both women are divorced, and so I had a chance to meet this new neighbor, a nice lady, super nice, and she brought her daughter along, and her daughter was late 20s, and so the show's a little bit about that encounter last night. So there was maybe 11 people. Again, I'm the only guy. And the only reason I know the party was going on was like sometimes in the evening I'll do a second walk. I do one in the daytime. I do one in the morning. And then if it's nice out, instead of sitting around doing nothing, I'll throw on my gym shoes and I'll go out and do another walk in the evening. I mean, I like to keep moving. I like to exercise. So that said, I was walking at the tail end of the street and I find all these women sitting there. Hey, Gary. Hey, why don't you say, are you almost done with your walk? Sit down, have a drink with us. Blah, blah. I mean, they're all real social, and they know I'm social. So I said, yeah, I'm done my walk. I'll sit here. I'll park it. So I parked it. And Kathy, whose driveway it was in, she goes, what are you drinking? I said, just the water. Ice water is perfect. She goes, you're still not drinking? I said, I don't think I'm ever going to drink again, Kathy. But yeah, I'll have an ice water. It'd be great. So she got me a big tumbler, 20-ounce tumbler of ice water. She squeezed a lemon in it. So I'm sitting there enjoying the party. And so I walked into an ongoing conversation, and the ongoing conversation happened to be this new neighbor and her daughter. And her daughter, I'm thinking her daughter was probably I think she said she was late 20s. I'm not sure, but right in the cusp between late 20s and early 30s, right in there. I'm just gauging from, she's graduated college and she's on to a job and she's doing this and that. She's doing who works for a nonprofit organization in downtown Cincinnati. Right off the rip, she's talking about, the conversation was about dating. Imagine that. All these divorced women that hang out and just chaw. I call it chawing. And it's usually bashing on men. Well, they don't like me because maybe I got a double chin, or maybe they don't like me because I'm over the hill, or maybe they don't like me and I'm trying to find a nice guy. These are all divorced women looking for ex-husband number 2 or 3. They're fun. I mean, they're fun to hang around with, and every now and then they'll ask for my rebuttal, and since I stopped drinking 3 years ago, I won't give them a rebuttal. I won't give them my opinion unless I'm really forced to give them one. Because when I drank, I was just blurting out my opinion. I didn't give a fuck, and I still don't really, but I'm a little bit more reserved now. So the conversation I walked into was this gal who was the daughter of this new neighbor. She was very attractive, by the way. Her name was Tiffany. Very attractive, very well spoken, articulated her words. Very attractive face. She was sitting down, so I didn't really see what she looked like standing up. She had shorts on. She had nice shapely legs. She looked like she was probably in shape, took care of herself. She looked nice. And so she had the floor. She was talking. And she said that she likes older men. She was, I just kind of like older guys. And then the other women were interjecting into her comments about older guys, and then she looked at me. This Tiffany looked at me. She goes, "Well, Gary, you understand, right?" I said, "Well, no, I'm not a woman. I don't go after older guys." I said, "That's a joke." She goes, well, she goes, no, I mean, I just like older guys, like more established. She goes, like, for instance, you're a pretty good looking dude. How old are you? I said, too old for you. But looking back 3 years ago, I was going out with a gal that asked me out. She was 31, 32 years younger than me. That was crash and burn, but it was an experimental thing. But yeah, I've been asked out before. She wasn't asking me out, but she asked me how old I was. I told her. She says she can't attract older guys, but she would prefer an older man, is what she said. And another lady in the group said, well, why do you want an older guy? Why don't you want to date someone your own age so you can have a family someday, raise children, grow old together? And she goes, because the younger guys all want one thing. All they want to do is fuck me. That's all they want to do is have sex and party and have more sex and fuck me and have more sex. And she's saying this in the group. So now she went from a visual, for me, she was visually attractive. But the minute she opened her mouth, she lost a few points. See, in my opinion. Now, I don't mind a woman that says fuck every now and then. I think fuck's a great word. Matter of fact, I don't trust a woman that can't say the word fuck or swear. But there's a time and place for it. You know what I mean? She was losing traction by just giving her opinions about younger men and what they like to do to her. And she was getting graphic about it. I mean, she's talking to the right set of ears here, because people who watch my content, they know that I'm a twisted fuck. So it's not really offending me. But if I'm going to be a male suitor, yeah, she's going to lose ground. That wasn't the only thing that lost ground with her. So let me go back. Let me backtrack a little bit. Her hair was pink. She had pink hair. She's a grown woman. She's lost a bunch of points, in my opinion. Now, I don't know about other guys out there, guys her age or other. Maybe there's still young men out there in America that find that an attractive woman. Now, it's all a matter of opinions. I mean, freedom of speech, freedom of how you want to look, that's fine. That's on them. But her hair is pink. Which makes sense that she was in a nonprofit organization, basically volunteering as a job. Because she didn't really need to work because her mom was already wealthy. And she was living at home, see. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So her hair was pink. She had one of these hoops in her nose. She had a nose piercing, a bull ring. Guys like to call it the bull ring. So she had one of these bull rings in her nose as a loop. So that was another deduction. Pink hair was one deduction. The loop, the bull ring, what was another deduction? And I'm looking at her. Now I'm looking at her. And then I couldn't help to notice she had a t-shirt on, but I couldn't help to notice on the top, right here, like at the top of the t-shirt, I could see like a tail of an animal's tail coming up in a tattoo. Up, and then it went back around her neck. Now, I'm only assuming that it went all the way in the back, but it came up from the side. So she had body art. She had ink. I am old school. I am totally old school. And I said this in one of my other programs called Ink. I don't mind a little peekaboo tattoo on the bikini line or somewhere hidden, only for showing off to your suitor. Only a little tattoo you got maybe on your ankle. A cute little rose or something like that. I have nothing against that. I have nothing against that whatsoever. I find that sexy. I find that a little bit naughty. And I like that shit in women. Nothing worse than fucking a dish rag. Are you in yet? Are we done? I've gone over that product. I've gone over that ground before. So a little bit of a little body art is sexy. But she had pink hair. She had the bull ring. And then she had what looked like a tattoo of a tail or something coming up. So there was more art below. I'm assuming there was more art below the shirt. I knew right away why she couldn't find a guy, an older guy. So all these women were giving their opinions of what she should do. And they weren't saying the obvious. because most of these women in the group are my age. They weren't saying the obvious, but I could see in the expression of their face that they wanted to speak the obvious, but because they were women and they were part of the team, all the women are part of the team, and I get that. I'm the odd man out. I'm the only dude. They weren't really sharing with the young gal Tiffany, what she should or should not do. Now, the body art, that's permanent. I mean, they can get it lasered off, which is expensive. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't want this program to go long. I got to go to lunch today, and I got to go down to the track and meet some buddies. I'll make this thing short. But, yeah, Friday, it's ATP day. Got to get my hamburger, my cheeseburger. But so the conversation then came to my end. Tiffany looked at me. She said, well, Gary, what do you think? What's your opinion then, Gary? You know, what's your opinion? You're an older guy. What am I doing wrong? Took a sip of my water. And there was silence. All these women's eyes were on me now. These women that know me well. They're all on me, and they know. They know. They can see it brewing. I said, well, you know, you really don't want... I said, Tiffany, we don't know each other, really. I mean, this is our first time we've met. You don't really want my opinion. You don't want my opinion. You just don't. And that was my answer. It got her attention. She was laser focused on me now, boy. She wanted my opinion because the way my response was, she knew something I had an opinion, and she really wanted to know. And she goes, "Well, Gary, I really want to know. I'm curious now. I'm intrigued. What is it, and what can I do to improve myself?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to lay it out for you because my walk, I can continue my walk now because I know I'm going to have to walk out of here after I give it to you." See what I'm saying? And she goes, "Well, I'm really intrigued now, Gary." She was really intrigued. And most of the women in the group started smiling because they knew what I was all about. They knew just one pole start and Gary gives his opinion. Woo! Left field. So I said to her, I said, "Well, Tiffany, I'll tell you what. I'm going to be honest with you because I don't pull punches. I'm a realist and I speak from the real world, so I will tell you what I think. First of all, what's your natural color of your hair?" And she goes, "You don't like my pink hair?" I said, "I didn't say that. I'm asking you, what's your natural color of your hair? I'm assuming it's dark because I have dark eyebrows." She goes, "Well, it's brown." I said, "Okay, brown hair's nice. Dark hair's nice. I prefer dark hair on women. But that's a matter of opinions. Everyone's different. That's what's so beautiful about society. That's so beautiful about the world. Some guys like red hair. Some guys like blonde hair. Some guys like pink hair. Some guys like dark brown hair or black hair. I personally love a woman with black hair. I think black hair is sexy as fuck." And that's exactly what I said in the group. And some of the older ladies, they know. They know I'm getting warmed up when I said that. Black hair is just sexy as fuck. It is. Elvira, give me a break. That Netflix show, Wednesday. Jenna Ortega. Oh, my God. She's an amazing actress. That black hair she has. Oh, my God. Those dark eyes. I'm getting off topic. But anyway, that's what I said to this girl, Tiffany. I said, yeah, well, you wanted my opinion, I'd say go back to your natural color. Color the pink out. Go back to the natural color of your dark brown hair. And she didn't get it. She didn't get her back up. She took it on. She took it in good stride. She goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah. Give yourself a chance." I said, "Because most guys, you're looking for an older guy, Tiffany." I said, "You said clearly you're looking for an older guy. I'm assuming I'm not going to guess your age. I'm not going to get in that kind of trouble. But if you're going for a guy that's in his 50s and maybe early 60s, you have a better chance of looking more mature. That look that you have, and don't take offense to me, what I'm going to say, that's a teeny bopper look. Or it could be a look if you're a movie star and you're a successful rocker. Yeah, you could do that. If you're a successful rock star, sure. Who cares?" I said, and secondly, get rid of that nose piercing in your nose. Guys call it the bull ring. It looks cheap. It looks slutty. And she goes, "I'm not a slut." I said, "I never said you were a slut, Tiffany. I said it looks slutty. It looks cheap." Again, if you're a rock star or a musician or an actress, you can get away with it, but you're not that thing. You're not that. Or more women would have bull rings or pink hair, purple hair. I said, and I could see you got a little bit of body art there. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm just saying it's permanent and you can get it lasered off eventually. But I'm not against body art. I'm not against ink. It just depends where it is and what size it is. But I'm assuming, do you have a lot of that on you? And she said, I got a little, which tells me she's got a lot. So she took it in stride. She's the big girl. She took it in stride. She goes, well, I had thought about that. She goes, my hair was just a phase. I mean, it was purple at one point. I said, but that's on you. This is all on you. You're asking a male's perspective, my opinion. I said, you're a very attractive woman. I noticed that about you. I didn't look at the pink hair. I didn't look at the bull ring. I didn't look at the tat. I was looking at your face. I'm an observer. I will observe somebody. You have a beautiful figure. You got a nice way about you. You're articulate. You articulate your words. You seem educated. You got it all going for you, except for your appearance. And men look at that. I said, men are visual creatures. And a couple of ladies in the group said, yeah, they are. I said, yeah, I'm a visual guy. I'm a visual creature. I love it when I'm with a woman, so when I start talking and I start ranting, I gotta check myself before I wreck myself. Who does that? That's Ice Cube. You gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. Great song. That's hip hop. I love my hip hop. Anyway, I said I love it when I'm with a woman and I'm intimate with a woman and she comes into the bedroom wearing slut gear. I said this last night. High heel pumps. Thigh-high fucking sheer stockings, garter belts, yeah, baby. That's the stuff that you can change. But when you go ahead and put a bull ring in and your fucking hair and your tattoos, that's a whole different package. I said, Tiffany, if you really want if you really want a solid dude and you appear to be that way, you seem like you're a pretty sharp gal, do a few tweaks, change things. And I guarantee you, by the end of the summer, you're going to have a nice guy in your arm that will take care of you. That's all I got. It's a quick one. I wanted to share that little thing last night. And I tell you what, these driveway drinking parties, they're enlightening. They're a lot of fun. Makes me want to start drinking again. Because these women, they slosh down the bourbon. One lady drinks that straight gin. Straight gin. Are you serious? They get their freak on. I'm sure they got big old fucking vibrators in their house and they just tear it up when they get drinking. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I got to stop. I got this spot. I'm thinking about painting one of my walls this color. Give me your opinions. I'm thinking about painting my walls this color. We'll see. I love red. Love the color red. Love the color gray. That's all I got. Have a fantastic Friday. You probably won't hear from me tomorrow, not unless I witness something today or Sunday. Take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for stopping by. Peace out.